bringing wisdom into your home.
From personal growth to business solutions, there is no limit to what you can imagine. It's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Hello and thank you for joining us right here on Luntha Television. It's time for news and with me, Jacqueline Saidi. First, the headlines.
Archbishop Zuppi to visit Moscow as Pope Francis's peace envoy. So far so good in MSc exams commencement. Lilongwe's street-connected child struggles to access ARTs amid no income for food. And in other news, millions in Horn of Africa trapped in hunger crisis.
We have these and more. Stay with us. The Holy See Press Office has confirmed early Tuesday that Cardinal Matteo Maria Zuppi, Archbishop of Bologna and President of the Italian Bishops' Conference, will embark on a visit to Moscow as an envoy of Pope Francis. The visit, scheduled for 28th to 29th June 2023, aims to strengthen gestures of humanity that can contribute to promoting a solution to the current tragic situation and find paths towards a just peace. As the Papal Peace Envoy, Cardinal Zuppi's visit to Moscow seeks to underscore the Holy See's dedication to actively engage in peace-building efforts and collaborate with international partners on behalf of peace. We have more details in this Vatican News report being read by Taliwe Mzumara.
As he visits Moscow, Cardinal Zuppi will likely uphold Pope Francis' desire for a resolution to the war on the European continent. The Pope has been a vocal advocate for peace, consistently calling on world leaders and individuals alike to work towards resolving conflict through peaceful means. He has made countless appeals for prayers for people suffering due to the war in Ukraine. The Italian-born Cardinal's visit comes on the heels of his previous visit to Kyiv on the 5th to the 6th of June, during which he met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other high-level government officials. During the meeting, Cardinal Zuppi conveyed Pope Francis' concern for the Ukrainian people. The Cardinal emphasized the need for parties involved to prioritize dialogue and find common ground for a just resolution to the war. The meeting with President Zelensky provided an opportunity to discuss steps to alleviate suffering, rebuild trust, and advance reconciliation. Cardinal Zuppi reiterated the Vatican's readiness to assist through diplomatic channels and humanitarian initiatives.
The Archbishop of Abuja, His Grace Most Reverend Ignatius Kaikama, says Catholic media houses are doing a recommendable job in evangelizing while asking journalists to refrain from reporting news without cross-checking the facts, which may lead to misinformation. He made the remarks on Monday when participants of the ongoing high-quality production of television programs training visited him. He said that Catholic practitioners are the mouthpiece of the Church in evangelization, hence the need for them to continue doing their work right. Bridget Monoka is in Abuja, Nigeria, and she now reports.
Catholic journalists from Catholic televisions in Nigeria, Ghana, South Sudan, Cameroon and Malawi are attending a week-long training on high-quality production of television programs in Abuja, Nigeria. The Catholic Television of Nigeria, CTV, is hosting the training, which is being funded by an international organization based in Germany called Aid to the Church in Need, ACN. A team of trainers from Germany and Poland who are working with ACN are among those leading the high-quality production of television programs training. ACN team leader Mark Liedman hopes the training will help participants create good content which will contribute to the technical aspects of video production at their respective media houses.
The purpose of the training is there are already a growing number of Catholic televisions in Africa, and we see that there's an enormous potential. At the same time, as we have seen also in Latin America, the similar situation of growing of Catholic televisions, a need for a specialization, that is, taking professionals and helping them improve the qualities that they already have, because of the language, the international language of television has its own sense, its own levels, if you will, and so we want to help these producers and these directors to improve the quality of their television broadcasts and television programs.
Participants visited the Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, His Grace Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, who emphasized the need for the communicators to cross-check facts before reporting to avoid misleading the masses. He said it is also important for them to tell their stories about social issues from a Catholic viewpoint and refrain from sensationalizing stories at the expense of truth. His Grace also elaborated that the nature of communications is changing and everybody is becoming a journalist, adding that Catholic journalists should be strategic in reporting accurately and telling the stories from the grassroots to be able to evangelize effectively.
I'm happy that you have come to sharpen your skills, to interact and to cross-fertilize ideas in a way that you will even improve in the services you render through the television. So I wish God's blessings upon you, and I pray that this gathering will be a huge success and that you will continue to grow from strength to strength. Once again, I'm so happy to see you in our Archdiocese.
The training, which commenced on 24th of June and will end on 2nd July 2023, is believed to help form an association of Catholic television stations in Africa as a platform of exchanging programs and knowledge among Catholic stations in the continent. Bridget Manoka, for Luntha News in Abuja, Nigeria.
The 2023 MSCE examinations have begun in the country with no registered case in the morning of Tuesday. Our visits to one of the schools in Lilongwe established that the exams have started well at Lilongwe Girls Secondary School. Robert Edward explains.
Now, at least 160,586 students are expected to sit for the MSCE examinations this year nationwide. And we came at this institution. This is Lilongwe Girls Secondary School in the capital, Lilongwe. And we have seen that at least 480 students are going to write their paper, in their first paper at this institution. And we witnessed the opening of the exams plastic bag where the exams paper are. It was all organized, all well arranged, and it was that transparent. So the students here will be sitting for their exams. Their first paper is agriculture paper 2. Those are the practicals. As you can see in the in your pictures, the invigilators and the school top management here, they are transparently showing the students the paper. And from what we have heard so far, there is no any problems experienced so far at this institution, and we hope this is going to be the national picture. Earlier on, when we spoke to the manable publicist, told us that he's going to be able to provide the information of the national picture later in the afternoon. The 2023 MSCE examinations are being administered across the country. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
Malawi government has entered into a 5-year agreement with an Indian-based education institute, GD Gonka University, to improve the quality of tertiary education in the country. The agreement will see the university providing full scholarships to 2 students and a 70% and 60% scholarship to 30 and 40 students, respectively. The deal also seeks to enhance educational visits and international education. We have a report by Hilbert Katanda.
Speaking on the sidelines of a joint press conference which the institution and officials from the Ministry of Education organized on Tuesday in Lilongwe, Director of Higher Education, Dr. Levis Yenea, said the agreement will open doors for students to uplift their education career. Yenea said the agreement will run for 5 years and its extension will depend on the fruits it will bear.
The initial period is 5 years. When that elapses, depending on how the agreement has gone, then we may renew it. But that does also not tie us to that agreement for 5 years, because there are also clauses where we can terminate the agreement if both parties, either of the parties, feel like I think things are not working the way we wanted to work. One area is on the scholarships that I think most of you are asking about now, which he is explaining and will also explain. But beyond that, there's also the agreement and collaboration that GD Goenka will partner with universities in Malawi to do a joint research projects, but also a joint postgraduate student supervision and teaching, but also faculty exchange. By faculty, we mean members of staff in the universities, and the student exchange programs as well.
On his part, GD Goenka University Director of International Admission and Marketing, Dr. Ajit Kumar, said the institution believes that a lot of students will utilize the opportunity.
We are giving the best of food, the best of ambience. The expectation is simple. Just come out, go out there, study well, make your country proud, make your parents proud, be a good ambassador, and give back to society what you got.
GD Goenka is a private university located in Guran Haran in India. It was established in 2013. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, I'm Hilbert Katanda.
The Chinese government has expressed its commitment to support in strengthening the country's security. The commitment has been made today, Tuesday, during a meeting between the Chinese ambassador to Malawi, Long Zhu, and the Homeland Security Minister, Kenneth Sikari Ngoma, at Capitol Hill in Lilongwe. According to Long Zhu, the meeting with the minister has enabled them to discuss high-level security issues that will help the country to strengthen its security to fight cross-border crimes. The Chinese ambassador has also pledged to support the Ministry of Homeland Security through the provision of training to security officers, material support, as well as other expertise in relation to security matters. On his part, Minister of Homeland Security Kenneth Sikari Ngoma thanked the Chinese government for its interest in supporting the Malawi government in a number of aspects, including security. Ngoma believes that the National Global Security Initiative, which the Chinese government is spearheading, will help to strengthen the bilateral relations between Malawi and the Chinese government. Meanwhile, the Chinese ambassador Long Zhu has reiterated his government's commitment to support the Ministry of Homeland Security with vehicles to be used in security departments like the Malawi Police Services, among others. Remember, it's still news time. Now let's have a break.
Personal growth to business solutions, there is no limit to what you can imagine. It's time to reimagine banking. Centenary Bank, our bank.
Welcome back. If you have just joined us, know that it's news time, coming to you live from Bishop Navy Media Center. Now let's have another look at our headlines.
Archbishop Zuppi to visit Moscow as Pope Francis's peace envoy. So far so good in MSc exams commencement. Lilongwe's street-connected child struggles to access ARTs amid no income for food. And in other news, millions in Horn of Africa trapped in hunger crisis.
Moving forward, a 14-year-old street child who was raped and infected with HIV is struggling to access antiretroviral therapy, ART, amid a lack of income for food. The boy, whom we have named him Owen, says he was raped by an unknown man while living on the streets of Lilongwe. He said he was infected with HIV some months ago, but now life is unbearable. We have more on this report by Bernard Mwanza.
The boy told us that he does not have any food to eat that can make him strong enough to take ART on a daily basis. He said street life is so hard to live as they have no source of income, adding that they only rely on people to give them something when they beg. He has since asked well-wishers to help him get the medication and food so that he can stay healthy.
I
go to get the treatment, but whenever I take it, I feel so weak. I also have no safer place to keep the drugs.
Moses Malabu, who heads One Step Foundation, an organization that works with street children, knows that Owen's situation is pathetic. He said it is important for him to take ART so that he can stay healthy and not transmit the virus to others.
I just want to appeal from the public, apart from the NGOs, I want to appeal to the public that let's start helping these children by providing necessary materials. For example, what they need is not about money, no, it's about food and also, fees for those who are at the school level. We want them to stay there. We don't want them to come back to the streets.
Sub-Inspector William Chirambo, the child protection officer for Lilongwe, said the police have not received a report of the rape. He said the police would investigate the matter if a report was filed. Lilongwe District Social Welfare Officer Derek Mwenda said the council is working to eliminate all street-connected children from the streets. He said the council plans to engage the parents of such children and empower them financially so that they can support their children. Over 4,000 children are reported to be on the streets of Malawi's major cities of Lilongwe, Zomba, Blantyre and Mzuzu. These children face social exclusion and exposure to risks that rob them of good health and personal safety. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Bernard Mwanza.
A youth grouping under the Brana Youth Pillar Anti-Corruption Drive has called on government to focus on bringing the truth to light towards all allegations made towards everyone holding a significant office to bring sanity in the country. According to the youth, the silence towards the allegations made by former National Oil Company of Malawi NOCMA Deputy Chief Helen Boluma against Secretary to the President and Cabinet Colleen Zamba and the unlawful procurement procedures surrounding the 128 billion kwacha fertilizer deal with the East Bridge Company is uncalled for in the derailment towards development over the country. We have more on this report.
The grouping, which has given government a 4-week ultimatum, has said they want action and for government to bring in an independent investigation into all the allegations made towards the people holding high offices, including the SPC. In an interview, representative of the group, Rebecca Hami, said lack of due diligence on the new fertilizer purchase deal raises concerns of possible abuse of public resources and continued corruption. She indicated that there is a need for government to cancel all processes around the program and ensure that an inquiry is done on it and on the allegations made by the former Deputy Chief of NOCMA, Helen Boluma, against SPC Zamba.
The first issue, like you have heard, is around AIP fertilizer, and the other issue was around the Secretary to the President and Cabinet. I feel like the first issue, young people are just raising their concerns that the procurement issues, they did not go so straight. So young people are demanding that the process, the deal should be cancelled. We should start clean. We should start afresh. Democracy should be exercised, where young people should also be given power. And the other issue, young people are just demanding that leaders should lead by example. We shouldn't compromise on our integrity. Thank you.
Okay, if those demands are not going to be addressed, what are you going to do? And in terms of the time frame, how much time are you giving government?
I think for the time frame, it was mentioned in the press briefing that we are giving it 4 weeks. And after 4 weeks, I feel like if nothing is going to be done, I might not say it all now, but because we are a team, we are meeting and we are talking, I feel like when we go back, we are also going to agree. But I don't want us to feel as if we are against the government or we are fighting the government. Let's just make peace and agree. Apart from that, whatsoever might happen, they shouldn't ask because we have made our demands.
Hami also added that the painful part of the whole deal is that the youth will be the ones in trouble in the future to sort out all the loans that government is currently accumulating without proper strategies on how to pay them back.
In international news, leading United Nations agencies have warned millions of people in the Greater Horn of Africa that they are trapped in an emergency hunger and health crisis driven by overlapping disasters, including climate change and conflict. The World Food Programme reports that 7 countries in the East Africa region, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan and Uganda, are experiencing unprecedented levels of food insecurity. World Food Programme said that nearly 60 million people are not getting enough food to remain active and healthy, forcing families to sell their livestock and engage in negative coping strategies such as prostitution to survive. We have more in this VOA News report being read by Tandiwe Nzumara.
According to the UN's Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, IPC scale for acute food insecurity, people in Phase 4 are facing extreme food shortages and risk hunger-related deaths, while those in Phase 5 are starving and have reached the calamitous stage of famine. Senior Emergency Officer in WFP's Regional Bureau in Nairobi, Kenya, Dominic Ferretti, said 40,350 people are in Phase 5 in Somalia and 43,000 are in Phase 5 in South Sudan. He noted that the devastating humanitarian situation in the Horn of Africa has not been caused by any one single emergency, and that rather in the past 3 years, Eastern Africa has experienced COVID-19, an Ebola outbreak, and other epidemics ranging from cholera to measles to dengue, a devastating desert locust plague that swept the region, destroying crops and income, and perhaps more importantly, the vast conflict and insecurity forcing millions from their homes, new refugee displacements from countries including Ethiopia, Somalia, and now, unfortunately, Sudan. The WHO Incident Manager for the Greater Horn of Africa Emergency, Lisbeth Albrichet, said acute hunger in the region has sent malnutrition rates soaring, with more than 10.4 million children under the age of 5 estimated to be facing acute malnutrition in the region. One of the new challenges facing East Africa stems from Russia's invasion last year of Ukraine, as the war prevented the country from exporting wheat, sunflower oil, maize, and other crops for many months.
And with that, we have come to the end of our bulletin, but before we go, let's have another look at the headlines.
Archbishop Zuppi to visit Moscow as Pope Francis's peace envoy. So far, so good in MSc exams commencement. Lilongwe's street-connected child struggles to access ARTs amid no income for food. And in other news, millions in Horn of Africa trapped in hunger crisis.
My name is Jacqueline Saidi. Thank you very much for tuning into our television, and stay safe.